All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 101. I got the Wanderer and Big Earn here with me. Guys, say hello.
Hello.
Welcome, glad to have you with us.
Okay, so where do we start this one? Part of me wants to start with the Knicks, but I'm so disappointed in them. I don't know if I should wait a little bit just so I don't get too overly angry at them and just talk about the two New York baseball teams for a little bit. What do we think?
All right, sounds good.
So over the weekend, we had the Yankees, and they were doing really well against Tampa Bay for what I thought for the most part of the series. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Tampa normally has our number, especially when they're at home.
Right.
Granted, they're not really home because they don't have a roof in Tampa right now, so...
That might be the difference.
Right. And I guess it might be a little weird for the Yankees being at George M. Steinbrenner Field as the visitors, you know? But for the most part, it worked out well for the weekend for the Yankees. They took 3 out of 4, which is good. The only negative I'm going to say is they should have swept Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I was watching that game on Saturday, and I literally almost threw my phone at the TV. Because I was at Brewhouse having some lunch and then hanging out and just watching the game. And I leave and they're up 8-4. I'm like, okay, great. It's only like an inning or so left.
They lost?
They lost the game in I want to say it was 10 innings.
Extra innings,
Yeah. I think they lost right away though, right? It wasn't 11, was it? Yeah, because I'm looking for April. Yeah, they lost 10-8. And listen, it's not all Devin Williams' fault. He wasn't particularly sharp that day. But Jesus, I don't know what to say. That was a crazy ass loss. And I guess we're lucky that they won Sunday's game, because the last time they lost in extra innings was against the Pirates, that they should have swept the Pirates. And then they went on a little funk where they lost 5 out of 6 or 5 out of 7.
Yeah. That's the kind of loss that you hope that you have one of those every blue moon and it wakes you up a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. Because I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad they won the next day. Max Fried was dominant, which is...
I mean, he's been, other than Judgy and maybe Goldie, he's definitely been, this is what, three very good starts in a row now?
And even his first start, he only technically really gave up 2 runs, earned runs, but he wound up being, I think it was 5 runs altogether, because that was that game the Yankees made a ton of mistakes. Which is weird because supposedly their defense is better than last year. I don't remember them being like this hot and cold defensively. They'll have a really good defensive game and then a really bad defensive game where they make 3 errors or 4. Or one game was 5.
Yeah.
Sloppy, But like you said, Max Fried has been lights out. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his starts. He's 4-0.
I mean, the last 2 starts in particular, or 3 starts, he looked really good. Really good. So, I mean, can't complain about that. Only thing you can say is imagine if we had him and a healthy Cole as the 1-2. I mean, that would be pretty...
That's what everyone was envisioning. And before Cole and even Heel went down, we were supposed to have one of the best rotations in baseball.
I mean, imagine it right now, right? Fried pitching the way he's pitching, and had we had a healthy Cole and Heel,
it'd be great. And what was funny too is Max Fried had a no-hitter, to me, technically into the 8th inning. I don't know if you guys saw that, but apparently they have a rookie that Tampa brought up, Chandler Simpson, I think his name is. And he hit a ball in between first and second. Goldschmidt tried to olay it like Roger Dorn on Major League, and it went off his glove and it shot over into the shortstop, and he was safe at first. And it looks like he was going to beat it, but at first the scorekeepers for Tampa gave Goldie an error. Then 2 innings later, I tried to hear the interviews. The only one I heard was Booney, and he really didn't say much about it. Is in the 8th, I think with 1 out, Fried finally gave up an actual hit. But right before that, they changed
Yes.
the scorecard for that era to a hit.
And I mean, I didn't get to see it that day, but I heard some folks on the radio talking about it, and they were like that, you know, that was ridiculous. That 2 innings later,
Yeah.
or whatever it was, they're changing. Like that's you can't do that.
No. And they said that Fried didn't know about it at the time, but later on, like his stat line just changed from like I think it was like 1 hit or to 2 or whatever it was, and they took him out after that. Pretty much after that hit, they gave him I think another batter, and then they took him out after that
Right,
anyway.
like you said, he gave up a hit anyways. But imagine that.
He didn't.
Right.
That's the whole point. Like they're lucky that they changed it literally right before the base hit happened because, you know, what if he looked up and saw it? You know, I didn't see his interview, so I can't see if I can't speak for him if he saw it or not or whatever. Boone said he didn't see it until after the hit was given up.
Right. I did hear where when he said he didn't see it until after the fact.
Right. But you're right. It's totally messed up, and like he could have pitched. And you never know. If he would have known, he could have pitched differently to that guy because maybe he was trying to make a better pitch. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, you're right. It's definitely unfair. The Yankees are now playing the Guardians. That they lost a tough one last night. I'll touch on that in a little bit. I actually wanted to talk about your Mets this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They did really well against the Cardinals,
Yeah.
who are off to a decent start this year. They're not as bad as I think they were last year, at least not right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mets took care of business. Were the Mets home against St. Louis, though? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they were, because the Yankees were on the road. So, yeah, they were home. And supposedly, Friday night, and Ernie, I don't know if you heard this because I know you listen to the same radio stuff that I do. Juan Soto was booed at Citi Field.
Really?
Yeah. Did you catch any of the games this weekend for the Mets? Because I know it's a busy weekend.
I watched a little bit on Saturday, and then Sunday. I don't think I saw any of it because I was out. But I saw the score here and there.
Yeah. But for the most part, they said he came up to bat the first time. I think he grounded out, and you started to hear like a murmur of boos, like not a lot, but by his
smattering.
yeah, sure. But then by his last at bat, I may be wrong. I don't want to speak out of turn with this, but I think he went 0 for 5 that day on Friday, and with a few strikeouts and. I want to say a double play with bases loaded, not to end the game, but that was his last at bat. They won anyway, but
And Lindor's been
on fire.
hitting bombs and hitting walk-offs, right?
Yeah.
He's been on fire, which is rare for him because normally he's terrible in April.
He starts off slow.
Yeah.
Usually,
And he doesn't even start off slow. He's like terrible in April. So that's a good thing for him. So Lindor walked off that day on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the walk-off. Let's see if I can find the box for, let's see where this guy is. No, he went Lindor went 1 for 5. I guess he had that big home run at the end. That was it. Soto went 1 for 3. So it must have been over the weekend. But they were booing him, they said on Friday for sure. It started already. So there's all these like memes and jokes about this now.
Are his numbers that bad?
I don't know. For me with Soto, you're a Met fan, so you'll probably be the opposite side of this coin. Once he signed with the Mets, I started really not caring about what he's going to do anymore until we have to play him.
Right.
But other than that, like, I don't know if he's doing good or bad. I mean, you hear rumblings about it because he didn't get off to such a good start as he did with the Yankees last year because he was hitting like close to 400 in April. Like he was carrying the team for the Yankees last year because Judge had such a bad April last year.
Oh, yeah. He was totally carrying the team.
Yeah. Him and I forget I think it was maybe Cabrera too, started off hot last year. And then Obviously they cooled down. It's baseball, but yeah, it was kind of it's kind of tale of different tape right now with Soto. Do you have his? Yeah, Soto's hitting 240 right now. His on base is a little low. It's 787 on base plus slugging. That's all I got. And even Saturday, he went 2 for 4.
Yeah.
So what did he do on Sunday then? Let's see. One of these days, he must have been before Friday then. Maybe it was Thursday he went 0 for 5 because they were booing him on Friday. I'm looking at all these box scores real quick. Yeah, he went 2 for 3, 3 RBIs yesterday. He's got his average up to 256.
Maybe it was all the Yankee fans that went to Citi Field.
I don't know. Well, the guys on the radio were saying they were there and they heard it. Was it Evan Roberts?
Oh, yeah, so that was definitely Friday. That was Friday's game.
Okay, so he must have did really bad Thursday's game, and it carried over into Friday.
They went to Friday's game. No.
Yeah, they did. You're right. They went to Friday's game.
It was Friday, not Thursday?
Because I heard it yesterday that they were talking about it when I was driving yesterday night.
Okay.
So it was definitely, and yesterday was their first day back, so it had to be Friday. But yeah, I like what Alonso's doing. He's in 346. I think he's got 6 home runs now.
Yeah.
Definitely benefiting from Soto being there.
Happy for him, and I think it's obviously it's showing that last year he had a lot on his plate and mind with the whole contract nonsense, and now that that's taken care of, it looks like he's back to his normal self, and he's off to a hot start. So let's see if this keeps up by All-Star break. I say they signed him to a 4-year, $120 million extension anyways. So
On top of what he's got already?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I could see that.
Wow.
Just to lock him up because he's only signed for 1 year, right?
No, he's got an opt out. That's what I was gonna throw at you because you said, last year he had a lot on his mind with the contract. Technically, he's doing it again this year. I mean, he has to opt out though, so that's the only different thing. So that maybe that's a little bit more of a peace of mind. But
Of course it is, because now he can say, "Screw you, I'm out of here. Let me go get some real money."
correct, and this all plays very well into his favor, which is why I think Vlad signed. Vlad got his money. Next year, he's going to be the cream of the crop, especially if he has a monster year this year. He could opt out.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll. If he keeps doing what he's doing, I think by All-Star break they'll sign him to an extension.
Okay, I can't wait to see that. That'd be kind of crazy, right? I don't know.
Has Vlad hit his first home run yet?
I don't know. You got to check. Yeah, he's been homerless for
Since last year.
Yeah, since a while. It was late into last year, right? It wasn't just September. I don't think he hit a home run since sometime in August. But yeah, the whole Pete thing. I think he got a 3-year, $56 million deal, and the opt out after year 1.
Right.
So it would pay if he's doing this good for the Mets to lock him up and change it around a little bit.
Of course.
Because if Pete hits the market, there's going to be a ton of guys teams that are going to want to sign him. He's going to be the only power hitting first baseman out there. I don't think there's really anybody else. And guys are going to just swoop in, especially some of these teams. Like, who's really hot right now? San Francisco. They're still going.
Yeah, they've been playing well.
That whole NL West is crazy to me right now.
Vlad finally hit a home run.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
When was that? A couple of days ago? Over the weekend?
I don't know. I just see that he has 1 home run.
Oh, okay. So it must have been over the last week. But you got the Dodgers on top, then the Padres. Well, technically they're tied 16-7. Then the Giants are right behind them at 15-8. And the Diamondbacks are right back a game behind them, 13-9. So, like, that NL West is, I hope it goes the whole year like that. That'll be a lot of fun for them just beating up on each other and,
It's a stacked division.
Yeah, man, it's huge. And San Diego is still undefeated at home.
Wow.
As of the other day. They might have lost, a day over the weekend, I'm not sure, but they were 11-0 at home so far. I'm looking at them now. I got to see. Oh, wait. They literally just lost yesterday at home. They're 12-1 at home. Yeah. They were the only undefeated team at home. The Mets are good at home, too. They're 10-1.
Mets have the same record as Padres.
Do they?
Yeah, 16-7.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
What a thunk it.
Yeah. Well, listen. The Mets are riding high right now. They're doing good, and they're not getting a lot of production from a lot of their guys. Like Nimmo's been pretty terrible.
Well, it's the pitching and Alonso.
Yeah. But
the Alonso stat line looks like the Judge stat line for the Yankees. He's leading in every category, basically.
really?
Yeah, he's leading in average 341, home runs 6, RBIs 24, OBP 444, and hits 28.
Wow.
How's that Pete Alonso leading the team in hits? Wow.
He might be leading baseball in hits.
No, not even close.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because Judge was leading the American League in hits, and he had 28. There's got to be someone that has more than, whatchamacallit, 30 or something like that.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see.
For sure.
Hits. Yeah, Judge has 33.
Judge has 33.
He leads all of baseball with.
Goldschmidt has 32.
Yeah. Donovan for the Cardinals has 32.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's not too far behind. That's not too crazy.
No. Top 10.
Yeah. Well, he's 11. I have on this little thingy right here. He's just because there's a bunch of guys tied with 29. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a very interesting trade deadline if all these stats like keep up. You know what I mean, with like all the divisions, because there's so many teams that are gonna be in the mix. It looks like this year. I mean, teams obviously have to lose, you know, but it just as of right now, it looks like so many like how are the Royals 9-14 right now?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I think I picked them to win the division, but whatever.
I don't think their pitching has been so hot, and
They're not hitting.
And other than Bobby Wood Jr.
Yeah, the rest of the team is not hitting, and even Bobby Wood Jr. isn't really hitting. From what I understand, but it's you know, what are you gonna do? It's nuts. But the you know, you must be really happy with the Mets so far, 16-7 in April.
Yeah, you know, especially the pitching. You know, I didn't think it would be, you know, they would be doing this well with what they have. But hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, it looks like what is that guy's name? Is it? It's not David Stearns, is it? Their GM? Is that his name?
Yep.
They it makes him look like a genius just signing all these 1-year contracts for these like pitchers, the mediocre pitchers, and they're pitching really well. You know what I mean? Because you're spending most of your money on that lineup.
Listen, they knew that guy was the real deal. They've been talking about him for years now.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's paying dividends the way he set up the team as of right now. And their bullpen's good too.
That top is working well for Mrs. Marakovich over there. Jesus Christ.
I guess you don't want to talk about Ben Rice, huh? But yeah, I mean, not much to really complain about. But you know, the Yankees lost last night against the Guardians. I wasn't happy about that. But if they could come back and even the series up today, I'll take that and try and win the third game on what would it be, tomorrow? So Wednesday, that'd be nice. You know, we'll go from there. Ern, give us a little recap on how the Knicks have been playing, because I know Saturday I watched a little bit of it and they weren't doing so good right out of the gate, and then they all of a sudden
went on a 21-0 run.
Yeah, when was that? Was that the second half? When they started the second half?
Yeah.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Oh, really?
Fourth quarter.
Wow. And that bailed them out, and that's how they got the win, huh? Right?
Yeah, and I mean, even with that, with a couple of minutes still left in the game, I think Detroit was like within 6 points, so it wasn't like they were out of it up until the end. But the Knicks held on, and then yesterday was basically the complete reverse, where the Knicks were just down the whole game and
Really?
just playing catch up. And they would get within 4, get within 6, be down by 11, be down by 13, get within 6, get within 4, be down by 11, and then to the final couple of minutes where they ended up tying the game, and then Detroit held on. Schroeder came down after, I think it was Brunson hit a 3 to tie the game, or a big two to tie the game. Schroeder came right down the court and hit a freaking 3 to take a 3-point lead, and then it was over.
Really?
With like a minute left.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh man.
But they were battling. But they were battling, trying to come back the whole game, and then it was like, I know at one point at like halftime, I think it was something like the Detroit had shot something like 12 or 13 free throws, and the Knicks hadn't shot one.
Wow.
So the Knicks weren't getting any calls at all.
Wow. They were talking about that today a little bit on the radio. I heard what's his name, Thibodeau, was complaining about that. They're like, if one of their guys is getting to the line all the time, then Brunson should be getting to the line. Like, I don't understand why we didn't get any calls.
No calls at all.
That's terrible. What do you think? You think then Knicks will? Well, first off, were they home yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're 1-1 at home, so now they're gonna go on the road.
Yeah,
for
but that's
3.
okay, because I wouldn't be surprised if they swept in the rest of the series, because I think yesterday's game should be a definite wake-up call.
Like a kick in the teeth a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah. So you don't think it's gonna? You're pretty much saying that the Knicks are gonna win this in 5.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah?
think so. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost the series either, to be honest with you. But they're the better team. They're the better team.
And so they were the better team last year, and they lost to the Pacers. So, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what to say about those Knicks. They always let you down. I just want one year where, like, how there's always like these upsets in the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't it be the Knicks upset, Boston, or go on a run or whatever? Like, I kind of thought
would be nice.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
I kind of thought by like right now, like the team would be like gelled enough like they were last year to make a run.
No,
But they're not.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
don't
weird.
forget, Mitchell Robinson's only just coming back.
Yeah, but he's not really there for
and
offense.
There's a bunch of different guys playing. Yeah, but still, he's still a big part of that team, or normally would be. He's a big part of the defensive part of the
He's
team.
definitely a big part of the defensive.
And he's
aspect.
still not. You can see he's still not totally 100% into the groove of things. But I think next year will be the tell all.
for those guys.
Yeah.
So you don't think they're going to add anybody in the offseason then?
Oh, I'm sure they're going to make some moves, but
Not anything too crazy to the starting 5, basically.
Listen, I think they would have been a completely different team if they had either one of the 2 guys that they lost last year, be it Hartenstein or DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more, I guess, Hartenstein, because he was a big part of the...
I would agree. I mean, as gritty and great as a season that DiVincenzo had, Hartenstein, for us, especially with Robinson being out, would have been huge this year.
Yeah, I agree. But he went and got his money with Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
No.
That was just all because of whatever cockamamie rule they got that the Knicks couldn't pay him, match the salary for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense. And they lost him. But I think they probably, if Hartenstein was on the team this year, they probably would have won 60 games.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow. That would have been crazy. I can't remember if the Knicks had ever even won 60 games in their franchise history.
Probably not, but this is the first time since, what did I hear last night? This is the first time that they've won back-to-back 50-plus games in the season since 1990 to 94, where they did it 4 years in a row.
Wow. That's a nice little fun little stat.
Yeah.
Hockey, anything? I don't know. Hockey, not really exciting me. There's not.
Well, especially since nobody's in it.
Right, I think the Devils aren't in it either, right?
No, the Devils are in it, but they a few weeks back lost Jack Hughes for the season, who's by far their best player. So,
they got no chance. So basically, all we really have are the Yankees and Mets for the summer, and the Knicks, I guess, for another. By the way, can they get enough days off in this freaking playoff round?
I haven't really.
Game 5 technically isn't until next Tuesday or something like that.
Let me check, because I meant to check when their
because they play Thursday, I think. Right? They played yesterday.
They don't play till Thursday. Yeah, so
Thursday, then.
So from Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday to Sunday, and then Sunday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
It does seem spaced out.
That's so crazy.
Well, the NBA is the way they are.
I just can't believe that you're like, it takes you that long to.
Right. And it's not like you're playing, you're going from New York to Saudi Arabia. You're going from New York to Detroit.
Right. It's got to be like a 2-hour flight, maybe 2.5-hour flight, max?
If that.
Right. And I don't think they're flying JetBlue. You know what I mean? Like, they probably got their own charter.
Yeah.
They leave whenever they want and they get there. So, like, I don't understand. If baseball can do it and they play 162 games, then they play back-to-back games, then a day off, then you fly out, and then you play the next day. And this is the playoffs we're talking about.
Yeah.
After 162 games. And I get it, like, people don't look at baseball as like you're, I guess, super athletic sometimes. And it's a slower paced game, whatever like that. But it's basketball. Like, you're not getting mauled by Charles Oakley like he was in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like, you're just running up and down. So as long as you do cardio every day, you're good.
On top of the fact that these guys rest every other game, it seems like nowadays anyway.
Right. Like, the big superstars take what is it called? A maintenance day, I think it is?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Drives me freaking insane. Oh, anyway, I'm done talking about the NBA. I'll try and watch the game on Thursday. Maybe we should go out on Thursday to watch the game.
So,
what time is it on? 7 or something like that? 6, 7?
I'm assuming it's going to be like 7.
Yeah, it's got to be later, right? It's a Thursday.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I think it's 7 o'clock. I think you're right. I think it's 7 o'clock.
7, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so maybe we'll do something like that.
How strange is that? They got the Knicks game at 7.
Uh-huh.
Thunder Grizzlies at 9:30, and Nuggets Clippers at 10.
Nuggets Clippers. That must be on the West Coast then, right? That's why it's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's weird that
9:30 and 10.
Yeah, it's crazy. They should have started a game in like the afternoon at like 5.
Or make them space it out and have 2 games at,
Yeah, I don't know. They're weird.
Yeah, that's what it looks like they're doing, like, which is weird. Yesterday was 2 games, but the rest of the week there's going to be 3 games each day.
Okay.
Which makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. Well, they'll figure it out, I guess, one day. They're not doing so well anyway. So since I've been out, I've been watching a lot of shows and TV, like these streaming movies on the streaming sites. I got a laundry list of things that you might want to watch. Like, first off, on Apple TV, it's called The Gorge.
That's a movie?
It's a movie on Apple TV.
Is it The Forge or The Gorge?
The Gorge. The Gorge. It's kind of hard for me to talk about it.
Miles Teller?
Yes.
I heard it's good, yeah.
It is good. I can't tell you a lot about it, but it's like basically World War II, that they noticed this gorge somewhere on the planet. And whatever's in the gorge, like, they tried sending like a battalion of troops in there and no one came out alive. So the east and the west of the gorge, they have like the 2 different countries or a bunch of countries give up a soldier a year at a time. So for example, like Germany would supply like on the west side, I guess, and the United States would supply on the east side, or vice versa. I forget what it was. Maybe the east would be Germany and we'd be the west. And it'd be, us for just one person for the east and one person for the west. And they can't talk to each other. They're directly across the way and they're in this tower. And you hear like rumblings underneath in the gorge or whatever. And like, you're not supposed to speak or do nothing. You're supposed to just monitor the place for a year. And then you get relief and you go home and then the other guy takes over. And they've been doing this since World War II. So now it's like our time, like 2025. And these people are there and all this crazy shit happens. I don't want to ruin the movie for you because I think it really just came out like a week ago. And I watched it and it was good. It was pretty cool. Like, not too shabby. I watched another movie too, The Wolfman. That I think was on Peacock. That was pretty cool too.
That's with the girl from
Ozark,
right?
correct. Yep. And some other people. No one that I really recognized besides her, for the most part. It was late when I was watching that over the weekend. It was like 1 a.m. I was watching this thing. But that was entertaining too. They had a different spin on the werewolf, obviously. Like, like it didn't look as much as like a werewolf as opposed to just like almost like a half breed of like a wolf and a human. Like he had the teeth and like he lost his hair.
Teen Wolf?
Yeah, it's not as handsome though. Yeah,
Keep coming back to Teen Wolf.
Keep coming back to Teen Wolf, baby. I love it. I kind of secretly miss Teen Wolf a little bit, and like maybe I should petition for them to make a sequel to the movie because you can't make a show anymore. But maybe you could just make like 9 movies every couple of years. You put a movie out.
Why not?
I'm sure those guys want to get paid. I don't think they're really doing anything right now.
I've never seen them do anything.
No. Yeah, like nobody in there really, like I know the guy Derek, it was also Superman, but that show's over too.
And then just oh my God, Styles.
Yeah.
Styles
Hasn't done anything either. Yeah, he was.
But he's the only other one then.
Yeah. And he wasn't even in the movie because I guess that was the time where he was doing the last Maze Runner, whatever. We talk about this over and over again. But I wouldn't mind seeing another movie. It was entertaining if they just throw it out on the streaming service. I'm also watching Yellow Jackets. I'm halfway through with that already. That show's crazy to me because... Did you ever see it, Warner?
Yeah, I only watched...
the first season?
I liked the first season. The second season, I think I stopped watching it.
It got away from you?
Yeah, I wasn't really into it as much.
So, I might say this every couple months, but if you're going to put out a show years later where it's not like the next year, you got to have a good, like, recap. Because I don't remember season 2 at all.
Yeah, like the recap needs to be an episode of it in and of itself.
Right.
Almost.
Right. Or like a good 10 minutes of like, because unless your point is for people to go back and watch the show, which is probably what it is.
I think that's what it is.
But I'm not doing that. So I just picked up with it from season 3, forgot everything about season 2. I sort of don't even remember season 1 really, besides like they crashed and whatever, and they're on the whatever island they are or whatever. And, whatever, they were killing and eating people for a little bit and that's it. And like now, like they do a good job in season 3 so far, because I haven't finished it, of jumping back and forth from like the story when they're on the remote island or wherever they are in the woods, and the girls, I guess, that are technically left, that are older now when they got rescued. Like the only reason why I'm watching this show is I want to see eventually when they get rescued how they get found. That's the only reason why I'm watching this damn show. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that I think they said that the next season is going to be actually next year, which is good. I'm not rewatching 3 seasons again. I'm watching this season, and when season 4 comes out, I'll give it a week to watch that, and then I'll keep it moving.
They've already announced there's going to be a season
I think
4?
so. I think I saw it on IMDb. I was looking it up to see what...
It's crazy. It's like not even a show that you hear a lot of buzz
No.
about or anything.
No. Well, in the beginning, you did. Because the first season, like Wander said, was really good.
Yeah, I remember when the first season came out, it had some buzz.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
even season 2 had some buzz, but then it went away for like what? It was like 2 or 3 years easy. So people forgot about it, and now it's just probably just another regular show where because they waited so long, I think they're just going to clip it at season 4 and hopefully just wrap it up and that's it. And it's where it could have, if they did it better, could have made a couple more seasons out of it, and stretched it out.
I think the days of shows going 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons is long gone. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I don't know.
Unless it's like a Simpsons type show where it's
like a cartoon
and goes on forever and ever. But I don't.
But no sitcoms, nothing like that.
Nah, I don't think so. I
They-
don't think so.
They just give it up after a little while.
Yeah, I think so. I think they get to the point where, number one, they probably get so damn expensive.
You're probably right about that. You're
to
probably right
put
on.
together, and what these guys are commanding nowadays for salaries, that it's not even worth it.
I don't know. You're probably right. We'll see. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, what's the last show that you watched in the last 5, 6 years that went more than 4 seasons? Can you even think of one?
I will, just because I just binge watched it. The Last Kingdom had 5 seasons and a movie, but other the shows that are constantly playing, I can't think of. They're all pretty much new shows. Like a lot of these shows are like new.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything we're watching I don't even think is more than 2 years old. We got Severance. You got stuff on Apple that are a year or two, or maybe Ted Lasso. They're coming back for a 4th season supposedly.
Yeah,
But
even that, it's like
Yeah.
a miracle that they're coming back, and it's
Right.
for season 4, and that was a blockbuster of a show.
Right, you're right. I guess you're right. It's crazy. I think the
Like
last.
if that show's not making exorbitant amount of money where it's worth, continuing on for as long as people are watching, then what is?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you're right. It's kind of difficult. I'm trying to think of shows all over the streaming. It's kind of hard to think of a show. I'd have to do some research on that. My last show I started literally last night because I was bored was The Bondsman on Prime with Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you just want to sit and just enjoy
A
mindless show, it's perfect. Perfect show. I don't even know why Kevin Bacon wanted to do that show. Like I want to read into that.
Did you ever watch on Apple TV The Shrinking?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would be something there's I think 2 seasons, and it's very quick episodes. And
Yeah, it's a half hour.
that's very feel good, like Ted Lasso type show.
Yeah. Look slightly different because it starts off a little heavy, that show, but then it gets better and lighter as it goes on.
Light and,
Yeah.
You
The Bond is like that, but it's not funny. It's more action. Like he's basically a demon hunter. Apparently there was a movie or something like that, or something that this is based on, and they turned it into a show. Yeah, I was talking to my dad about it. He's the one that told me about it, and I always get nervous. I always tell you guys, I always get nervous when my dad tells me, like, watch something, because my dad literally watches everything. I guess that's what happens when you're retired. You just watch everything, especially if you got nothing really to do. So I take it normally with a grain of salt, but I watched 4 episodes last night. I think there's only 8. And it's just every episode he's going to hunt somebody down and bring him back to hell. It's nothing more than that. Put it on the background while you're just chilling and relaxing, and you'll be done with it in a couple days. You could actually be done with it before our next show, which I will be probably tonight for no apparent reason. But other than that, that's all I got for the shows. If you want to check those out, I think you guys would really like the movie The Gorge. I think you guys would like that. Miles Teller is actually pretty good. I think you guys would like that.
Yeah.
If you have Apple TV or a jailbroken Fire Stick. But yeah, that's all I got for stuff. Anything? I know it was a holiday weekend, but anything you guys get to watch over the last week?
Not really. The last episode that came out of
Mobland.
Mobland, which is that you're gonna love, and then again it just started, so there's only been
4.
2 or 3 episodes of the show on Apple TV as well with John Hamm, my friends and neighbors or something like that.
That's good?
Yeah. I mean, John Hamm's is good. You know, anything that he does is pretty good.
What's the show about, that one? Did we talk about that last week?
No. So, it's basically about he is a hedge fund manager that loses his job, and obviously is surrounded by his friends and neighbors who are all very wealthy, like he was, and he's divorced, and now he needs to, because he got screwed out of his job essentially. Now needs to find a way to
make money,
keep things going, because he can't find a job, and he starts robbing his friends and neighbors.
But that show you said just started, right?
Yeah, it's I think 3 episodes in or something like that.
I wonder how many episodes they're gonna have in the season. If it's 8 or 10. That's the mark now. It's 8 or 10.
Right. I would say 8 max at this point.
And what'd you say the name of it was again? My Friends and Neighbors?
I think it's My Friends and Neighbors.
Anyway, Wonder, what do you got?
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot over this past week. I caught up with Mobland, so I watched the new one yesterday. I think there's 4 episodes. It's great, as Ernie mentioned. And then I did watch, I guess it was, I don't know if I mentioned this last week.
Your Friends and Neighbors, sorry.
It's okay, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess I watched this, I think it must have been last weekend, but I watched the first episode of the new Black Mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, the first episode, it was alright, but, I'll definitely get more into that. I just forgot about it for a minute, I guess.
Yeah, I started recently watching that a few weeks ago when I first got hurt. Mm-hmm. But I was watching, what are they up to, season 6 now or 7?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but it's got to be up there.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Black Mirror all over the place. That show has got like 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird because, and I'd have to look it up, but for the most part, oh, by the way, that show has 9 episodes. My Friends and Neighbors, whatever it is, and they already got a season 2 in the works. But getting back to the Black Mirror, I was behind. Like, I think I watched the first 4 or 5 seasons, mm-hmm. Depending on how many. Here we go. There are, because this came out in 2011. This show, yeah.
It's been around.
But it's weird because so they have 7 seasons. So this must be the 7th season now that's out. They only have 33 episodes.
Yeah, it's short.
It's short. So like season 1 has 3 episodes. And like if you were gonna like remember the show Continental, I think it was on Peacock.
All the episodes are standalone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah. So like each episode is just a different story. Almost like the Twilight Zone or those type of shows.
Correct.
Similar to that. But I guess they didn't know if it was going to be popular. They only did 3 episodes in the first season. But you would think they would be long, almost like movies. They're not. They're 45-minute episodes. It's not like the show The Continental. That had 3 episodes, but they were each like an individual movie.
Right.
Like they were an hour and a half long. And I think the last one was an hour and 45 minutes. So each like episode was almost a full-length movie, and like they all over the place. Season 2 had 4 episodes. 3 has 6. 4 has 6. 5 has 3.
Yeah. Continental. That's the John Wick thing.
Yeah,
right?
that was the prequel of John Wick.
Crazy good, if I remember.
It was really good.
What are they doing with that? They doing anything else with that?
I think that was just it. I think for all sake of argument, that was the prequel.
Yeah,
that was where like
those were great.
intense.
I don't remember much about them, but they were great.
He said, I don't remember much about them, but they were
I
great.
do know I liked it.
You're right. I also don't really remember much. I just remember there being a lot of fight scenes and action.
Yeah.
And the first 2 episodes, or whatever you want to call them, like left you on quick cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And
The acting was great.
Yeah, a lot of people did good. And it was the guy that was the old man that ran the Continental in the John Wick movies. It's like his basically storyline.
Right,
That I remember.
Right.
Like he was like a young guy. Like
exactly.
he didn't work for the mob, but did kind of, or something like that, and whatever. From what I remember, like you're right, it was really good. Yeah, so I think I'm on season 6. I have to watch season 6.
I see.
But I watched some of it, and I was kind of like bored with some of these things.
Yes, I mean, so it's hit or miss. I feel like with the newer ones, some of them are good, some of them not as much.
Yeah, like I'll watch like 20 minutes of it, and I'll be like, ugh, let's go to the next one, you know. Whereas in the beginning, when they did it,
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the ones in the beginning.
Yeah, the first few are pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, season 7's out. Like I might just skip to season 7 and just see what's it all about. Yeah, these are there's only 2 of them are almost an hour and a half. One's an hour and 16 minutes and one's an hour and 28 minutes. So there's 2 long ones in this new season. Huh. All right. But yeah, I'm going to be watching some more of The Bondsman today. I'm going to finish that up, let you guys know how it all wraps up. I'm sure you're very intrigued about that.
I mean, of all the things to watch, you're watching The Bondsman.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I told you, I'm not starting Mobland or even the John Hamm show until they get closer to the end where I don't
What
want
about
to.
The Bondsman? Didn't The Bondsman just come out?
Yeah, but it has all its episodes out already. So that's why I'm just breezing through it.
Oh, it's all out already.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Same thing. And Yellow Jackets came out a while, so I'm trying to finish those 2 this week. And then, you know what I'm really looking for? Some movies. Because now I have the Jailbroken Fire Stick as well. Like, I'm gonna look tonight, I think, for some movies that are, I guess, streaming on that are in the movie theaters to watch. Because when I look for movie theaters with all these streaming places, there's so many freaking movies, and I'm like, I don't know what to pick half the time.
Oh, what? You got a new one?
Yeah, I bought a new one. It was on sale for like $17 on Amazon.
And who broke it for you?
An unknown person. You know what I mean? But I don't know. So yeah, they did it for me. It took a couple weeks. I got it. Yeah. But that's it. Wanda, you got any music or anything
just,
going on?
one selection as usual. This week we're going with Panchico with their new album Ginkgo. So that's the pick for this week.
All right, that sounds good. Ernie, you got anything to add before we wrap this baby up in a bow?
No, that's it, man.
All right, well, everyone, I hope you had a great Easter weekend. We'll talk to you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Later.